This is He Knows Everything, bringing you that heat and that far. We keeping the foot on the whoop, Neeks. We keeping the foot on the whoop, Neeks. And like the Tibetan marriage shift that I am, I'm applying what on immediate pressure. Because pressure does what? It versus pipes. You see, this is why He Knows Everything is on the thumb, the needle, the wave, the curve, the owl, you name it, of the damn situation. He told you guys, man. You Rudy Poet Plum Brains. You classic dolts and troglodytes. You ultra fanboys with the ultra fanboy rhetorics. That Deontay Wilder was going to win arbitration. See, Deontay Wilder's been listening to He Knows Everything because He Knows Everything told him file an injunction on that ass. There was nobody else saying that. You go look at the timestamp. If you guys want, I can put proof. I can put it in the description in the video where I dropped it and I said file an injunction on that ass. Which an injunction led to arbitration. And the arbitration turned out that Deontay Wilder was going to win. And you know why he was going to win? It was just common sense. If you sign a contract that says that there's going to be 3 fucking fights, this is not rocket science. This is not Albert Einstein. This is not the theory of relativity. This is really simple shit. Simple business, commonsensical shit. You file an injunction because of the fact that this guy right here, and when it's really simple and it's all said and done, this guy right here basically was going to win because a trilogy was enacted. A trilogy was basically ingratiated. A trilogy was put into effect. And when you have something like that going on, where a trilogy is what it is, you're going to get a 3rd fucking fight. Duh. What is trilogy? 3. So 3rd fight, do the math. It was going to happen nevertheless. The problem is, it's not Deontay Wilder winning the arbitration because He Knows Everything advised him to file an injunction on that ass. It's more so the fact that Deontay Wilder, when it's in the grand scheme of things, Deontay Wilder took a pay to lose via glove game. He got a dent in the fucking skull. This does not make you face of boxing material. This is what He Knows Everything is talking about. My harsh criticisms of Deontay Wilder is not because I don't love my brother. I love my brother. So when you love your brother, you come to him with admonishment. You come to him with chastisement, and you come with him with correction. This is what you do to your brethren when you see that they've fucked up. They've erred away from things concerning the faith. Deontay Wilder is a man of faith. He says, if you ask, you shall receive. If you search, you shall find. If you knock, the door shall be open unto thee. But that's because he got the principle from the good book. The good book tells us that, right? But Deontay Wilder erred from things concerning the faith because Deontay Wilder took a pay to fucking lose, man. And when you take a pay to lose, it creates a pay to lose fate. Yes, Deontay Wilder is going to make money off of the Tyson Fury fights. Yes, Deontay Wilder is going to reenact the whole Forbes thing again. But what does it profit a man to gain the whole world and lose his soul at the same time? This is what the good book says. What does it profit a man to gain the whole world and lose his soul at the same time? That is quintessentially what Deontay Wilder has become. This is what he's been about. Lately, it hasn't been Bomb Squad, it's been Bum Squad, because Deontay Wilder has been listening to beta cuck males and pure fucking beta supremes. And when you listen to folks like this and they drive your career, what ends up happening is they drive something that messes you up on such an epic level. It messes you up on such an epic magnitude. It messes you up on such an epic proportion. Deontay Wilder is basically what we would say a conversion from an alpha male to a beta male. The pay to lose certified that. It's authorized that. It basically validated it, and it basically approved it. That Deontay Wilder is a paid to fucking loser, man. Once you get a paid to lose fate and you are a black fighter, it sticks with you, man. It is a stainage you cannot remove. And I see folks are arguing, but you know, the heavyweight division, it doesn't go by weight class. It doesn't go by this. It doesn't go by that. Justifying 2 Dundadas. Bushmaster said it best on Luke Cage, dog. 2 bulls can't reign in 1 pen. Dundada's not plural, you know. Let Bushmaster and let Bushmaster say it again. 2 bulls can't reign in 1 pen. Dundada's not plural, you know. You know why Bushmaster said that shit? Because Don Dada is not plural. There can only be one chief, dog. That's why they always say chief and a bunch of Indians. Notice when you have too many fucking chiefs, it creates a problem because there can only be one chief that is certified, authorized, verified, calculated, and approved to be that chief. And you know who that chief is? It's Earl the Truth Spence. He's the face of boxing, not Deontay Wilder. So don't give me that weight class bullshit that the heavyweight division is not a weight class. It's a heavyweight division. Deontay Wilder had the opportunity to stay in his close number 2 position after Earl the Truth Spence if he didn't take the pay to lose. Deontay Wilder at his highest levels is a close number 2 behind Earl the Truth Spence at his highest level. He's no longer at his highest levels because he's a paid to loser via Glovegate. Got a dent in the fucking skull. How can you say that a guy like that is the face of boxing when he has an L of that stainage? That stained his damn legacy. What L does Earl the Truth Spence have? Stop the presses and pump the brakes on the nonsense. Go sit down somewhere and what? Giggity fucking hush. So if you're comparing a face of boxing with a guy that lost and a face of boxing with a guy that has a perfect record, who Canelo Cinnamon Dust of a Horchata Alvarez wants to fight, who's basically saying that we are going to ride in the waves and ride our horses off into the sunset for our legacy fights, that's a face of boxing. When you see Cinnamon Dust Horchata, who is basically the Mexican community fan base's what we would say cinnamon smelling of the dust Alvarez fanboys favorite fighter in the Mexican community fan base, and you see that guy who is supposedly the cash cow when really he's just a cash fraud. He makes money, he doesn't generate money, because to be a cash cow you got to make money and fucking generate money, right? When you see this, it tells us of a cold-hearted, it tells us of an unadulterated, and it tells us of a cutthroat true teller fashion. What is that? And when it's all said and done, the delineation, the distinction, the gulf, and the separation is as simple as this: that Deontay Wilder has bum squad himself because of a paid to fucking lose via Glovegate. That's not face of boxing material. When you're the face of boxing, you don't lose, especially in that fucking fashion. Floyd was a face of boxing. Andre Ward was an unofficial face of boxing. Earl the Truth Spence is a face of boxing because to be an airfield fighter, you also have to be a face of boxing. That's the cold-hearted. That's the unadulterated. That's the cutthroat true teller fashion. I keeps the foot on the whoop. Hicks. I keeps the foot on the whoop. Hicks. When it's all said and done, Floyd Mayweather was number 1 pound for pound. Andre Ward was number 1 pound for pound. But where the fuck was Deontay Wilder being number 1 pound for pound? You know Earl the Truth Spence made the list for number 1 pound for pound. So again, stop the presses and pump the brakes on the nonsense. Go sit down somewhere and what? Higgity fucking hush. This is He Knows Everything. Checking out.